This ain't regular, trying to raise up the decimals till they declare spectacle. Verses like a confessional, politicking with y'all over weed and keep it congressional. This all been intentional. Now the terms are not flexible.
Get him. Yes! Yes! Holy God. If that's a, oh my God, it's a giant. Oh my God, it's a giant. Oh my. Oh my God. Pull up. You got him. Easy. Nice. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now let him run. Oh my God.
There he was.
That's not a sucker, dude. That's a whitefish. It's a whitefish. Oh my God. Oh my God.
They asking if I see the cycle. Then they asking what I do. Something to make a little noise in here. Hold up. Don't you go and make a move.
There he goes.
I've been searching for answers. I've been working with reverence. I realize that getting high ain't a shortcut to heaven. Feel like my soul on the floor and shit, I need some resting. Feel like I'm asking why a lot more than I've answered questions. Feel like I gotta rip it in case they forgot to mention all this work that I put in, but a 401k a pension. I'ma tell them I ain't impressed. Anything don't in my direction. I ain't getting
So the next one is a good one. This is stemming off from that ice fishing show. This is the tournament that we filmed with Haataja.
This was big. I talked to Haataja the day before. I think it was the couple days before this. I was talking to him on the phone, and he was like, "Hey, let's do something where we kind of get interactive with different people, other people, do a little tournament, social media thing." Called Lauren up. I said, "Lauren, come with me, join me with this, be my partner." Went out in Mendota. Haataja was like, "Yeah, let's do Mendota." I'm like, "This guy guides out here. He's fantastic. He knows all this,
Well, we had a full weekend. We actually fished a club tournament the day before that
We did
too.
do a club tournament, yeah.
UW Whitewater, and we did okay in that. Well, we didn't do okay. We caught a ton of fish. It's just not a lot of big ones. That was easily the best jerkbait bite I've ever been on.
We had a good jerkbait bite. Any outfit, yeah. But
So, anyways, we get there, and we actually didn't even know that there were other people in this besides us and Eric. We pull up, and there's the guys from Quivermaker Outfitters there as well. I'll leave them linked in the description as well, because they're some pretty sweet dudes. Walking up, he's filming with his GoPro. It was pretty sweet. But and met Cal too. Cal Haataja, his son, super cool guy. We'd love to get out with him again real soon.
that's when my truck was actually clean. Wow.
Yeah, and we settled on just the one biggest fish, because Mendota has a weird slot limit where it's anything or one bass over 18 inches. So, an 18-inch fish in Wisconsin is going to be upwards 3.5, 4 pounds. So this was definitely our best video at the time. I felt like I've spent a lot of time editing this one. I actually spent the whole weekend up at our cabin just chilling, editing it. But we definitely had some really good footage to edit with, though. You know what I mean?
Well, this was cool because it was our first time fishing this. And I'm driving around cruising, and Lauren finds this bluff wall. He's like, "Let's try this bluff wall." And
yeah, we're running across the lake, and I'm like, "Dude, bluff walls."
About 10 minutes into it, I hooked about a 4-pounder on a Fission 110, of course. I mean, these baits are, I can't say enough about these Mega Bass Fission 110s. These things are phenomenal jerk baits, no doubt about it.
It was this one you caught it on, right? Tennessee Shad?
Yeah, we got a Tennessee Shad. And
yep. This is the one that Louie was using. You can tell it's all beat to hell.
There was our first fish. That was like the first 20 minutes, too. I mean, that was pretty quick.
Yeah, that was nuts. Yeah.
For just 18 inches. I mean, that was a close fish in the slot.
Yep.
I lost another, I forgot I lost that other big one, too.
And he didn't think the second one was that big either. And I saw it flash in the water, and I was like, this one might be bigger than the last one. And then runs under the boat. And, well,
yeah, 2 big back-to-back fish.
Yeah. This is that one.
I never really saw this fish. I got him at a bad angle though and lost him.
I think the sun was shining right from my angle at the back of the boat, and I saw him flash, and all of a sudden I see the jerkbait come up, and I'm like, no way.
Great bait, but these are soft hooks.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have to say about the 110s. They do have some pretty janky hooks.
Which, by the way, Lake of the Ozarks, this thing is dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yeah, it's good to replace them. But
yeah. Oh, and then the whole title of the video is huge pike during bass tournament. So we did catch a giant pike.
This
on
was a big
same
pike.
Bait.
I got 10-pound test fluorocarbon seagar, and man, I fought this fish for probably 10-15 minutes. It was big ass pike, man. Close to 40 inches.
Shout out to Seagar.
Yeah, Seagar was
That's
phenomenal.
literally the only fluorocarbon I use.
I wanted to land this fish. I thought I had a musky on. I thought it was a musky, but
Yeah, because he stayed down forever. We never saw him until he finally came up. And even then, when we just saw his back, it still looked like it could have been a muskie, just because how...
He barely fit in the net. I mean, look at that fish, guys.
Yep, and then
I'm going to say it's 20-pound fish.
Realized it was a northern, yeah. Yeah, we said it was 15, and then after catching those salmon...
It was big. It was heavy. It was stockier than your Eagle Lake northern. Yours was longer, but that one was stockier for sure.
Yeah.
Cold water, end of fall, spawn.
Yep.
I love big pike, guys. That's one thing about me. I love big pike.
Big pike are awesome.
Even during a bass tournament. If they're over 35 inches, I'll take it.
If they're smaller than that, I don't want to deal with them.
The pickles.
When I'm fishing for bass, I'm not... If I catch a pike, I'm not a very happy camper. But.
I'll take this one.
Yeah.
And you do.
Oh, yeah. I would love to catch that fish, but... I don't mind netting your fish, dude. Even if it was a little stressful for you sometimes. Well, this one I did okay job.
It's got the net folded back, too. Surprised we got this one in the net. This is some long fish.
Yeah, we had a little bass tournament net. Finally came up.
Goes to show, guys, you can't land big fish with light line. You got to play them out, finesse them up. It's possible.
Spinning rods help too. Like I don't know if I had hooked that because I was using a bait caster. I don't think I would have landed that fish with a bait caster because I was using the same pound test, but bait casters hold less line, so I wouldn't have been able to let him run.
Big old pike.
But yeah, this thing was giant.
Pretty ones. Mendota's got, a lot of people don't know this, but Mendota's got some big pike in there. If you could find them, there's 40-inch fish in there, 40 plus I've heard. I mean, there's a really nice northern fishery in Mendota. And
musky.
There's a little result. Yeah, it's big. Menota's got good musky fishing.
Yep, the whole Madison chain is awesome. That's a cool shot right there.
Famous pike takeoff.
So much power. And then we didn't really get a whole lot until near the end. And I was fishing this Vision 110. Oh, I was fishing this Vision 110 right here. It's a sexy shad color. I've been fishing it all day without any results. Well, I didn't caught anything on this bait. I caught a couple on a tube.
Yeah, you threw a tube for a little while.
Yep.
This spot right here, you guys probably recognize this. It's kind of by a dam. This spot we caught probably 20 fish off of.
And this is literally 10 minutes before check-in.
That was a productive spot, to say the least.
Yeah, we caught so many fish out of that spot. And even some that were off camera, too. Like he was just throwing at the dam, and we did not catch a largemouth this day under 16.5 inches. That's a pretty.
But Noah's got good fish.
And we caught a lot of fish
nice
too.
bass.
Haataja came in. We thought he only had a little 18-inch smallie, and he pulls up and pulls out a pretty.
So I'm trying to look cool with what I got. Kind of in the back of my mind, knowing he had to somehow pull out of his ass a bigger bass than I did.
He said he caught this like 5 minutes before they pulled up.
Look at that. Look at Haataja. So he caught that fish the last like 30 minutes on a rattle trap. So that's how it goes. That's fishing.
Yep. So ours was a little bit under 4 pounds. And then Haataja pulled his out.
Famous quote of Haataja right there.
What? What? How? How does that happen? With 20 minutes to go, the dude has a
Haataja skanked us.
Skinny smallmouth, and we. What?
Hey, if anyone's gonna beat me out at a tournament, I'm glad it was Haataja though.
Yep. Oh, 5-pounder on Lake Nelson. So this, I wasn't fishing with Louie, but this was one of the first times I was out on the water up north. But this was easily one of the best like jig fishing, like jig bites I've ever been on. This lake was literally right outside of Hayward.
There it is.
So this was actually a how-to video I filmed out on Lake Nelson, teaching you all how to fish for big bass, like specifically big bass with jigs. I've got my setup in here right now that I use now to fish for jig fish. This is a 13 Fishing NV Black, 7'3" medium heavy, with a Shimano Corrado 70 XG reel. I love the 8.2 to 1 gear ratio because it's so fast. You can just flip in and then reel up the slack, and you're onto a fish, or you're right back into the next cast. And then the jig is a Strike King structure jig, and this is what I use for flipping, skipping, everything, because the head's just got a really nice shape to it. And then a Rage Craw trailer. I also switched that out with the Get Bit Baits new Hyper Craw trailer. I don't even know if we're allowed to talk about that.
The
hypercrawl? Is that?
I don't know.
Maybe what I just said won't be in the video. But yeah, just basically a craw trailer, anything that's got a little bit of action on the back there, and you want a nice heavy like 7.3, 7.4, just because jigs. I mean, with jigs you're setting the hook real hard. So I had been fishing all day. I'd missed so many fish on frogs. I pulled up to the last spot. Like this was basically a bank going all the way back towards the boat launch. Like as you can see, going all the way down the shoreline. There's just tons and tons of docks on Nelson. So this is actually my biggest bass of the year so far by a long shot, by probably 1.5 pounds. So.
Pretty vicious hooks out there. Big fish.
Oh my god. Stay down, baby.
I was so hyped.
Stay down. Oh god, stay on there. Stay on. Oh my god, it's a giant. Oh god. That's a 5-pounder. It's a freaking 5-pounder.
Big and
Get over here.
As soon as his head came up.
Get over here. Swallow that jig. Oh my.
That's an old fish.
Yeah.
That's an old fish.
Well, if you think about it, like a 5-pounder up here is 15, 16-year-old fish. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh baby. Oh my god. Barely. Freaking hook. Skin hook.
That's a good fish, dude.
Had the jig down its throat, but it was just barely skinned in the top.
It's actually kind of skinny.
Yeah.
It could have filled in more. That's
Exactly.
a big fish.
I was thinking like if that was a spawning fish, I think it could have been 6 pounds.
That's a good bass though, dude. Fish pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's a good fish. Big old bass, northern Wisconsin, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, and I had another really insane video up there. I'll link that one in the description below. That's kind of in this list too, but I'm not going to show any footage from it. It was my MTV Slam, first ever actually from a boat completed. I've completed them from the bank before, but the next one is our Musky trip on the Chippewa Flowage.
Oh God, this is brutal for me.
Yeah, it was a rough go of it, but we did catch
I remember
fish.
like we just got out there and I like literally right where we kind of launched at. There's a bridge, going to the bridge, that first corner, first like 30 minutes, I'm like, dude, this spot, if anywhere in the stretch is going to have a muskie, it's going to be this location. And probably low 40s fish, just teasing me all day. Came back on it 4 times, I mean, just...
So, yeah, here, watch this. It shows my reaction first, and then it shows it from Louie's.
His face expressions are the best. Double take. You doing that for the camera? Was that for the camera, or is that
just?
just?
I was looking at the camera.
No, was that for? Did you do that for the camera, or is that just your reaction?
Oh, that was my reaction.
That was just your reaction.
I was looking at the
That's
camera
funny.
like, are you kidding me?
You can see the fish blow up. I mean, this fish hit me. I mean, it was a big fish. I just got the new mojo. It's insane.
Slow motion too.
I was on a jointed whopper plopper style bait, and I mean it's an old bait. I got it at a garage sale years ago. I mean the bait's been torn apart by muskie, and
then it came back again.
You'll
just
see it again
after
right
this
here.
cast.
It'll wake on it. Actually, no, it's next cast.
Next cast, yep. People are yelling at you because you didn't figure 8.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, yeah, it's different with the top water.
It's way different, yeah.
I should have though.
But you get another cast in there.
I knew he was still over there. You'll see him right here.
Comes up and wakes on it.
Boo. See, I knew he was.
That was
I sensed that.
I don't know. I haven't seen a whole lot of muskies out of the water, but I would have guessed it was low 40s.
He didn't. Yeah.
Just because we never actually saw the entire fish, but you see its head.
Yeah, he never committed to it. And then later that night, I had another muskie, separate muskie. I just sucked a muskie fish in that
off
day.
camera, and it was just, and I missed so many bass too. Like it was just a weird day, but it was
fun.
It was totally different style of fishing out on that body of water, and it was a giant. I mean, if you've never been on the Chippewa Flowage, it's a
big body of water.
Huge body of water.
And muskies are not easy to catch. I mean,
last but certainly not least is our most recent videos with the king salmon and the BARBIE rod.
Yeah, so this was funny because I'm like, I took him out on the river for salmon the 1 week. We did really good. And then I'm like, let's change it up. Let's do something different. We collaborated, we decided, we talked, and we said, let's try to catch it on a BARBIE fishing pole. Went to Walmart, bought BARBIE. I had a BARBIE fishing rod. He had a, what did you buy?
I bought a Zebco Dock Demon.
Dock Demon, and I made it happen.
Hey guys. Are you ready?
Oh, hello.
Lake Fork guy. What do you have?
Hope he's doing good. Hope he's doing better. Put
Yeah,
this out to
actually,
this dude.
yeah. We'll put shout out to Lake Fork guy. Like for real, that dude's a trooper. I don't know how I would do if I was presented with that situation.
I mean, you guys know how hard salmon fight in the first place. I mean, we rigged up our rods with 60-pound braid. I had 50, he had 60 to a 15-pound fluorocarbon leader. And
I had this exact Power Pro line on.
yeah,
And it was just easily the most insane thing like I've ever even attempted.
just listen to the drag. I mean, it's just. Zzz, 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 zzz. I hooked about 5. Honestly, I hooked about 4 to 5 fish.
I was gonna say, I think you hooked 4 fish.
So this is Racine, the Root River, the steelhead facility. If you guys been there before, great program. They kind of stock them, spawn them, and we catch them.
Mm-hmm. God, you were playing with that thing so long.
I had like a 15-pounder. I was teasing in his rut for like 10 minutes, and he finally hit it. But
that's how you catch these fish. Though. You
gotta piss them off. They don't eat. You gotta piss them off.
Mm-hmm. If you guys want to see more of the salmon fishing, I know I've got 2 videos up on my channel, but I'll link Hooked and Tags video with him fishing salmon too, because they had some insane strikes.
Finally hooked one here, guys. This is the biggest one. I was lucky to keep this one hooked up.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys had some insane takes.
Yeah, we had some good ones. That was
like the salmon weren't huge, but they were so aggressive.
Yep.
For whatever reason.
Oh yeah, a lot of co-hosts. This was kind of the tail end of the king salmon run. Mm-hmm. This was a big fish. This was 20-something pounds, I'd say.
Yeah.
But man, I just couldn't believe Yeah, we should talk about that. So
yeah, if you see here, I think I say.
Yeah, you'll leave a comment.
First salmon caught on a Barbie rod ever on YouTube. It's not. We realized that. I went back. We didn't look before we filmed the video, but in the video I did flash up a little disclaimer that said
real fast
we're not claiming to be the first to do that.
Yeah, later that night we were editing. I pull up my phone, pull up YouTube, King Salmon Barbie Rod. I'm like, oh, take a look.
Somebody did it.
Not many people have done
it. And then suspiciously, a couple days after we posted this video, some dude's out there fishing with the Dock Demon, which was the rod that I bought for salmon.
Influencers. We're influencers.
Very coincidental. Not really sure where that
came
from.
For you, dude. We saw you.
Nah, it's all good. People do what they want. But yeah, that is a giant fish.
Yeah.
And then I also caught my first king salmon here a little bit later in the video. And if you seriously take a look at this video, like if you haven't seen it already, take a look because we caught so many big fish.
I put a lot of work into this one. Yeah, this was.
And the video before this too. Insane salmon fishing was the first
salmon
one.
action, guys.
And then Barbie Rod catches huge salmon was called the second one. I mean, it's just we caught so many huge fish. Like we lost count. Like truly, we lost count while we were out fishing. Like we had to go back and watch the footage in order to count how many fish we caught.
Yeah. So real quick. Yeah. I mean, this is basically the fly I was throwing on that Barbie Rod. I mean, it's a little, it's a baby chartreuse hair style. This is a little different. Mine was more of like I had a little lead kind of head here, give it a little bit more weight. But basically, you're throwing this past these salmon, it pisses them off, and it's kind of a reaction strike. It kind of drifts past, and they strike out of aggression. But
yeah, and then the things that I was using, I actually went out with another buddy of mine. We caught a bunch of fish. Well, we only caught 2, but on the egg patterns. It's kind of like this really small hook with a semi-clear or bright yellow.
Yeah, this was very effective too. We caught a lot of fish on that or leg pattern like that.
Or bright yellow cloth fabric egg. They were chomping it. Like, I mean, we actually got them to eat, which a lot of people, somebody commented on my Instagram page that said the only way to catch them is by snagging them, even when you snag them in the mouth, and that's not true at all.
No, these fish will eat. You just gotta get them aggressive enough. You gotta piss them off.
I mean, I had a fish that was like pretty close to death when I was out fishing, and like he still like actually actively opened his mouth on it. So, you know, it's tough to get him to eat sometimes, but it definitely is possible, and it's not. You just gotta have patience instead of just having it drift past their mouth once and being like, oh, he's not going to eat, and then just lift it up and snagging him underneath the jaw.
Another thing we were doing too, an important factor, because I know a lot of you guys are probably like, how do you cast flies, is we had that, I was using a heavy braid. We used a little 2-way swivel. Small, probably the smallest 2-way swivels you can get away with.
Yep.
And then I was just doing like a 2-foot, 1-foot, 2-foot fluorocarbon leader, just straight to my fly.
And then if you get frustrated too, I explained this in the Barbie Rod video, but if you do get frustrated, you can throw a split shot on there. You just got to make sure you keep it off the bottom. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and please like, subscribe, you know, share the video if you like what you saw, and click on those links in the description, man. All these videos are, you know, the best that we've had on the channel, so please click on them, give them a like and a view.
Yeah, no, but yeah, you guys, hope you guys like what you saw. Like I said, Lauren, this is, you know, Lauren started this page. I'm a fishing guide. You know, I don't really have a YouTube page. I'm kind of collaborating with him. You know, he does a lot of the tech. I'm kind of working as a guide with him, taking him to different situations. For those of you that are curious, we collaborate. We're YouTube collaborating partners. That's kind of what we do. We put together some videos. You know, Lauren had this good idea, and I totally agreed. Daniel, Get Bit Baits. We want to get out fishing with you.
Yep, sponsor links will be in the description too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time on another episode of Wisconsin Fishing and Outdoors. Peace.